My name is Isaac, aka AEONS, AEONS, however you want to say it. I like both. And welcome to my channel. Thanks for checking me out. Thanks for checking out my music. And thanks for being interested in my background and some of the goals that I have for this channel. Um, let's start with the background. I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been here almost my entire life, and I appreciate it every single day. I love living here. Amazing, amazing place. If you've never been, you should definitely come check it out. I started getting into music at a really early age, actually through my dad, who, before I was even born, was a professional drummer in the 60s and 70s, and he was responsible for really schooling my ears from a young age. He had us listening to all kinds of crazy vinyl when we were kids: Herbie Hancock, Jeff Beck, Led Zeppelin, all the greats, Satriani. We used to wake up to Edgar Winter in the mornings going to school. I mean, from like age 0, this stuff was in my ears. So all credit to him for schooling me on the rock and jazz rock front, ear-wise. We went to Steiner School, Waldorf School, when I was a kid, and we had to play musical instruments. So I think the first instrument I started on was a recorder or something like that, and probably played that for like a year, 6 months. And then we had to start an orchestral instrument. And so I chose a cello, which was an amazing experience. I had some great lessons, a great teacher on the cello, played for many years. And when I got to high school, it kind of wasn't that cool to be in the orchestra anymore. It's so sad to say that, but it was true. And I tried to get in the jazz band with my cello, and the teachers were like, no, it's not going to happen. So I kind of quit music for a little while, sadly, but got into playing sports, which was a really positive experience. Really glad that I did that. And then at the end of high school, I got back into playing music, playing drums, because my dad very tragically and very suddenly passed away. And I felt like one of the best ways to keep the good parts of him alive was through continuing to do music myself. So I got really into it for about a year. When I went to college, I stopped playing for a little while, but I should say that in high school, I had a couple friends. One was an amazing guitar player. He still is an amazing guitar player. The other was an amazing bass player, and the guitarist had a kit set up at his house, so we used to go over there and jam. And thank you, Colin and Scott, for letting me sit in with you guys from a baby age as a drummer and rock musician. Those guys were just, sorry for the pun, instrumental in helping me grow as a rock player. So when I got to college, I didn't really have a place to play, so I stopped for a little while. I had some other career ambitions, but then I realized, music is really what I want to do. And that's when I started getting into lots of rock bands. I started playing drums in probably 7, 8 rock bands at once when I was in college, which was an amazing experience. I went to UC Berkeley, incredible school, highly recommend it, and I'm representing right now. Go Bears. So at that point, I was really, really into playing, and I thought, let's make this happen. And I was in a lot of bands that were great, but they all broke up. And if you're a musician and can relate to that, you have my compassion. It's just so frustrating when you're really in it to win it, and it just doesn't work out. But I think it was important. It was a good learning experience. I moved overseas for a few years and just kept playing, kept working on my stuff, and eventually moved back. And when I was still in college, I actually saw a friend of mine do a gig, amazing guitar player, Sean, shout out to Sean Hodge, and he just blew my mind using the loop station at this gig one night. It was some acoustic gig somewhere, and he hit the chorus, looped the chords, and started soloing over it, and I just thought, kind of a light bulb went on, and I was like, okay, I can do something with that. So that kind of got me on the looping front, and I moved overseas, like I said, worked on it, kept working on loops, kept working on trying to get better as an instrumentalist, as a player, and struggled a lot for sure with that, but just kept going. The love that I have for music just keeps growing every single day, so I had to just pay attention to that, I felt. So I did, and stuck with it. And then when I moved back to the United States, I moved back to play music with a really talented friend of mine, a great singer-songwriter. But eventually he wanted something that was a little more lucrative than what we were doing at the time, which was very understandable. So that band broke up again, and then I just thought, okay, I'm done. I'm just going to do my own thing. And that was kind of the birth of what now has become AEONS. And I had met a great friend at that time, Joe Mitzman, who has a sound studio in Stockton, and he's incredible. If you need anything mixed, or if you need music for your videos or production or anything, Joe Mitz Sound. I'll put a link to his Facebook page in the description of this video. And he got me into Fantasy Studios. He heard a demo of what I was working on. We went to Fantasy, which is in Berkeley, and had an amazing experience there. It was probably the best experience, one of the best experiences of my life, recording that first EP called Full Circle. It's on the SoundCloud, and it's out and available. And that was really when I started getting my songwriting together and started getting the full band aesthetic that later became kind of the AEONS hallmark. So that was about 6 or 7 years ago. I had to take a couple years away from producing music for a while to make a professional change, which if you're a working artist, you know how difficult that can be. But now I'm in a position where I can really start to produce a lot more music. So I'm really excited to just grow as an artist and bring as much music to people as I possibly can. So that kind of brings me up to today, and also brings me to my goals for the channel. So the number one goal for this channel is to make great music. And don't worry, I know exactly how ambitious that sounds, but you got to start somewhere if you have a big ambition. And I just realized at a certain point that I needed to start where I was, and that was the only way that I was going to grow. So I have a lot of ambitions inside that. I want to become a great instrumentalist. I want to become a great songwriter, and I'm not there yet. You know, I'm closer than I was yesterday. I work hard every single day, but I really need your help. If you know how to play guitar, if you know how to play drums, if you know how to write songs, if you know how to sing, let me know what I'm doing wrong in the comments below. I really do want to hear from people, and I really want to absorb as much information as I possibly can. So help me out. That brings me to my second goal, which is to try to educate as much as possible. So I don't know, I feel like I don't know a lot about music, but when I really start talking to people about it, I realize how much information I've built up over the years, particularly about looping and the technology involved with that stuff. So I want to share what I know with you guys. So hopefully you'll find, if you're a musician or an artist or just someone who's out trying to do something daring with your life, or you just want to take a risk or a leap of faith, hopefully I can help keep you motivated and educated there, which brings me to my third goal, which is to try to inspire people. And I don't feel like I'm at the level of playing yet where my playing and my music is really truly inspirational to other people, but I really want to get there. I really want to be able to step out on stage one day and just be good enough that other people watch me and they give me the experience that I had of my musical heroes, like Tower of Power, Led Zeppelin, Satriani. I mean, guys where I just listen to their music and I just think, oh my God, I've got to find a way to figure out how to play like these guys. And if you're a musician or an artist, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and I just really want to re-gift that inspiration to people if that's at all possible. So those are my big three goals for the channel. I just want to say thanks for checking out this video one more time. I really appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. And if you want to stay up to date on my journey, what I'm doing musically, I'm going to be sharing a lot of information going forward. Practice vlogs, I'm going to tell you about what I do for practice. I practice 6 days a week. I'll tell you how I break it down. I'll take you through my home studio. I'll show you walkthroughs of all the songs I have so you guys can learn and just kind of get inside my head and what I'm doing here musically. Otherwise, if you're not interested in that, no big deal. I just want to thank you again for checking it out, and hopefully the next time you see me in a video, I'll be making something that you can really connect with, even if you can't today. So one last time, thanks so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Well, I know I can be what I want. I believe